Hey, what's going on, Mob Psycho Gang? Welcome back. Today we will begin into episode 6, following up that absolute banger of an episode last time. Curious to see if it's gonna, follow up on last episode, or if we're kind of gonna get one of those, standalone mob episodes that are always a lot of fun. I don't know. I'm a little curious where season 2 is gonna go plot-wise now, since the beginning of it was very focused on single story episodes, and then now we kind of got a double episode or a double story episode that was much more intense and dark and whatnot. Let's recap character ratings from last time before we get into this reaction. Last time we gave MVP to Dimple Song. Dimple killed it last time. He's the one who infiltrated the dream stay and helped, kind of get Mob out of that illusion and whatnot, so we had to give it to him. For best moment, I mean, nothing other than the fight between Mob and Mogany. The animation was incredible. The production of the episode in general was just so cinematic. It felt great, man. And then the funniest moment we also gave to Dimple when he infiltrated the dream world and came out of the nostril of the bully. Dude, that caught me off guard. It's too funny. Y'all are new here, you want to follow on for more, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Helps out the channel a lot. But either way, I appreciate y'all being here to watch the mob with me. With that being said, let's go ahead and get into episode 6 of season 2. Getting a little flashback, okay.
いつもご愛用いただき感謝いたします。
本当ですか。すぐにご準備いたします。
These damn salesmen. I was about to say, is it a bunch of REIGEN'S in here, man? God damn it. Is this him opening his business? Yeesh. He's back to the grinds. Damn, okay, Mob. 34 push-ups, that's no joke. Yeah, new PR, baby. Honestly, 35 is probably like what I could do these days. I'm so out of shape. Yeah, his emotions will get better too from it. Yeah. Nice idea. That always throws me off when they speak English in it. Here come the salt rock again. Should be happy about it.
Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. それにしてもモブ君が肉体改良部をこんなに続けるなんてね。
すぐ逃げ出すと思ってました。
影山はなかなか執念深いよ。あと半年も頑張れば中学2年の平均値に届くと思う。
An average second.
俺たちもうかうかしてると負けてしまうぞ。
好きな子を振り向かせたいだけなのにね。
Hey, that's a grand goal, alright? He never agreed to that. More importantly. God, dude, I hate karaoke. I like to sing. I'm not very good though, so I hate karaoke.
みんなで遊びに行くのって楽しい。
Aww.
モブちょっと悪霊に手こずっててさ。いや、俺一人でも余裕ではあるんだが、最近立て込んでてな。力の放出は避けたいっていうか。
今日は師匠、一人でやってくれませんか。
Dang, he's sticking up for himself.
いきなり呼び出すのやめてほしいっていつも言ってるじゃないですか。
Setting a boundary. Look at that.
何言ってるんだ。どうせ暇だろ。来れない理由があるのか。こっちには困ってる依頼人がいるんだぜ。待ってるからな。できるだけ早めに頼む。
Bruh.
急なバイトが入ってカラオケには行けなくなりました。すみません。せっかくの誕生日なのに。
いや、いいよ俺たちのことなんて。
気にするな。十分だ。
物事には優先順位がある。仕方ないさ。
Oh, he's got some good friends, man.
凍った豆腐の角に頭を打ちつけて死んだ男の霊が出るとの噂が本当だったとは。
He looks a lot like the one from the first episode.
ご安心ください。急いで私の弟子を向かわせてます。助かったぜ、モブ。どうした？
僕にだって学校やプライベートがあるんだから、いきなり呼び出すのはもうやめてください。
プライベートってせいぜい筋トレの部活くらいじゃないのか？それかまたデート詐欺か何かに引っかかったのか？すぐ利用されんだから成長しねえな。お前はよ。
He's gaslighting him.
同級生と何やってたか知らんが、そいつらはお前の理解者なのか？こっちは人助けだぞ、人助け。お前が俺を手伝うことには大きな意義がある。お前が自分の力をコントロールできているのは、実は俺のおかげでもある。
I don't know how I feel about this, man.
除霊バイトができなくなるくらいだったら片方を切り捨てろ。どうせお前のことなんか大切に思っちゃいねえよ。弱い人間を内心でバカにして楽しんでんだよ。
違う。バカになんてしてない。
お
きっとレーゲン師匠の言うことが正しいとは限らないんだ。
あ、ミスった。
僕はバカにされてもないし、簡単に利用もされない。
Dude.
やはり昨日はちょっと嫌な感じ。
Yeah, if you did, you fucking try to gaslight his ass.
もうあいつが俺以外に悩みを相談できる相手なんているはずがない。俺と関わりを立てばまた元の孤独に戻る。案ずるな。あいつは必ずここに戻ってくる。
おかえり、リツ。しばらく師匠のところには行かないことにしたんだ。
いいと思うけど、急にどうして？
喧嘩だ。もう奴とは決別したのさ。
Damn, dude.
そんなんじゃないけど、いろいろ考えて決めた。僕は今までレーゲン師匠の言葉に乗っかりすぎてた。それで全部がうまくいくような気がして、なんか楽だったんだ。
Yeah, back then.
成長しねえな、お前はよ。
それだけじゃ良くないことに気づいたから。
でもそうだよな。この家業はもともと俺の身一つで成立してきたんだ。モブがいなくて困ることなんかあるか？そうだよ。人件費だって削れる。
Your labor costs, come on. You barely paid him anything.
悪いなモブ。お前の計算外だろうが、俺は全然悔しくないぞ。お前は今頃寂しがっているだろうがな。
Sounds like a teenager, man. He's the one who needs to grow up at this point.
今頃モブのやつひどく後悔してるだろうな。意地を張って気まずくなってるのかもな。大人な俺は事情も察せるし気にしてないというの。
It sounds like you care, that's for sure. Dude, Reagan's literally acting like a kid this episode.
バカな、あのモブが楽しそうにしている。あんな友達がいたのか。
何隠れてんだてめえ。
おお、エクボ。
シゲはお前のこと全く何にも気にしてないみたいだし、とても平和だな。
Aww.
お前はいいのかよ、エクボ。お前はただの中学生の金魚の糞をこの先もずっとやっていくのかよ。そりゃ平和だな。
Dude.
モブの力を利用して何かしたかったようだが。
Dude, Reagan's killing me this episode. He's being a fucking ass.
ただの中学生にひっついてせいぜい楽しく過ごしたい。その間に俺は次のステージに行かせてもらう。
Thought you said it was okay for him to be normal.
ま、相変わらず元気そうで何より。
ージの更新でもするか。
あれ帰らないの？テレパシー能力者探すの今日はもう諦めるって。
お前こないだバイトで行けなかっただろ。せっかくだし入ろうぜ。
そういやしばらくフレンドブック。
Friend book. I love all their changes for the big brand names like McDonald's.
メッセージ来てるじゃん。放置してて悪かったな。私生活が忙しくて。誰だろう。あいつかな。高校の時の。そうか。
It's his birthday?
マジかよ。
Damn, dude. His mom? Damn, dude. I feel kind of sad for him now. I think so.
モブ君リズム感ないのね。
Correct.
あら、あらたかちゃん。いらっしゃい。かなり久しぶりじゃない。
レーゲンさんだ。レーゲン先生が来たぞ。
レモンサワー。サワー多めで。ここの常連はマルチ商法やエセ宗教などに引っかかりやすい体質のものばかり。そういった類の悩みや愚痴を誰かに聞いてもらいたい連中が俺みたいな業者にとっては格好の釣り堀。弱い人間のたまり場だ。相談を聞いて適当な助言をするだけでやたら慕われる。俺にとって友人に近いのか。俺今日誕生日なんだ。
おめでとう。
先生おめでとうございます。
おめでとう。誕生日だったらちょうどよかった。今ね、特別なルートから紹介されたいい枕があってね、低反発でぐっすり眠れて定価12万円。
This is a very interesting episode, man.
あらたかちゃん、まだ一杯でしょ。たまっかよ。大丈夫？
ダメだな。俺って友達いなかったんだな。
I mean, Mob could be your friend if you actually treat him like one.
この状況はまずい。まずい流れに乗ろうとしている。この俺が。そもそも俺はなんだ。俺もなるしかない。何者かに。
単独になり吹っ切れたレーゲンは明確な変化を起こした。町の清掃活動を始めたり、除霊の様子をネット公開したり、無料講座や人生相談も始めたりして。
What the heck?
中でも超有名オンラインゲームファンタジー地獄のプレイヤーキラーは正体が幽霊と噂されており、多くの霊能力者が断念した難問依頼。
聞いたことあるがやめておけ。我々の手に負えるもの
Oh,
じゃ
come
ない。
on, Shinra.
システムの中にまで霊能力は届かない。
It's the perfect job for Reagan,
レ
dude.
ーゲンは複数のアカウントで連日レベル上げと武器強化を繰り返し、
He's on the grind,
プレ
baby.
イヤーを囲い込み袋叩きを。
すごい。本当に除霊できたんですね。どうやって？
能力者ですか。課金しすぎて赤字。
Oh no. Pay to win, no.
どんどん話題になっていった。
Damn.
雑誌からのインタビューを受けるまでになった。
Okay.
さらにその数日後。
テレビ？そんなに注目されているのか。俺は
レーゲン先生の噂をたまたま耳にしたプロデューサーがぜひ番組にと。
This episode really doesn't. I have no idea how to feel about it, man. It's all over the place.
霊能力は実在するのかスペシャル。
Morizo. What the hell, dude? Jodo's here. The fucking fraud. Actually, he's not a fraud. Maybe he's just way too cocky.
俺テレビに出てるよ。トントン拍子に盛り上がってる感じだ。もし全国放送でかっこよく決めちゃったらファンとかできちゃうんじゃないの？よっしゃ。緊張するけど。
ここは気合の入れどころだな。とか思ってるだ。今のうちにせいぜい浮かれてろ。バカめ。お前をテレビ局のプロデューサーに紹介したのはこの私だ。時のことは弟子から聞いているぞ。この浄土キリンに飛び膝蹴りを入れ。
Bro, he helped you.
残には許さんぞ。徹底的に後悔させてやる。
Interesting. Another multi-part episode. All right, y'all. Let's get into the review section for episode 6 of season 2. Very interesting episode. I honestly don't quite know how to feel about this one. On one hand, it's really interesting to get a lot more Reigen's character, but we see a lot more of his flaws in this episode. And Reigen's always been a really interesting character in Mob Psycho to me because he has a very split kind of moral compass almost. On one hand, he seems to really care about the people in his life, like Mob and even Dimple. But on the other, he's a total con artist. He's a fraud. He lies all the time. And we see a lot of that come out in its worst this episode. But you know, my experience with Reigen, or how I felt about him, is, you know, early on in season 1, he kind of rubbed me the wrong way at times, and he was, you know, I just looked at him like a fraud, kind of like he was using Mob and taking advantage of him. But as it went on, you know, we got a lot of information that he's really helped Mob out a lot. You know, he's helped Mob view his psychic powers in a healthier way, and you know, maybe that came from him wanting to use Mob, but a lot of times it didn't really feel like that, right? It kind of felt like it came more from a genuine place, and the fraudulent side of it was coming more from a place of insecurity. And so I've always, you know, after getting, you know, seeing more of the good nature of him come out, I've kind of always liked Reigen a lot, and I've always thought it was really interesting how he's kind of polarized in his actions. Personally, I feel like he does care about Mob a lot, and I think he cares about other people in his life. It's just kind of an insecurity thing, and I think this episode is a really good example of that. You know, we get it off the bat with, you know, him asking Mob to, you know, come help him with, you know, to take down a spirit, and Mob tries to set a boundary once again. We see that has tried to set this boundary. Even in the very first episode of this show, Mob says that he doesn't want him to call him out of the blue. He needs more time in advance to kind of answer these calls, right? And this time, Mob sets a boundary. You know, originally he tries to say, hey, I'm with my friends, I can't come. And then, you know, Reigen kind of orders him more so. And he's like, all right, I'll go. But after doing it, he tries to set it again. And this is an example of Reigen's kind of fraudulent, or a little bit of an egotistical nature coming out here. He is trying to use Mob for his business, and he's not respecting that Mob is an individual with his own needs. And Mob expresses that he has his own personal life, especially now that he's building up more confidence, right? He is hitting PRs in the Body Improvement Club, and really putting himself out there. And you can see his confidence is increasing from it. And we see that in the social situation too, where they all go out to eat for their birthdays, and he's actually comfortable with the social situation with himself. He's actually having fun. But you know, you see when he sets this boundary, Reigen completely tries to gaslight him. You know, he tries to dismiss it by referencing things, how people took advantage of him all in the past, like the fake love letters. You know, he says that these people aren't actually your friends, or they don't care about you. I think, which we all know isn't true. You know, Mob has a lot of good friends in his life at this point, and we don't know exactly where that comes from at that point. You know, but we know that it doesn't feel good for Mob, especially, right? It's not, you know, in the past Mob might have followed that, but here you can see he doubles down on it, right? You can tell that Reigen's lying probably because of this newfound confidence. It's like, no, they are my friends, and I'm not going to listen to what you're saying. So and Reigen knows he messed up there. He crossed the line there. He tried to dismiss the boundary when he should have respected it. But we see that insecurity come out even more after this fact, right? He kind of starts to have this extreme optimism about the situation. Like, oh, well, now I can cut labor costs without mob, and I don't have to listen and support this middle schooler with all their problems. You know, trying to justify what happened by focusing on the positives, quote unquote. And he even also projects a lot about how mob is gonna, you know, he's gonna end up all alone, and he's gonna come back to him because of this. You know, he's nothing without Reigen, kind of thing. So it's once again, he's kind of blowing up his ego to probably cover up some kind of insecurity about himself. And I think we see this come to a head a lot with, you know, when he actually sees mob with his friends, and that kind of that illusion of mob being the one worse off, or being the insecure one, or the lonely one, it crashes down in that moment when he sees mob with friends and he's happy. You know, he's like, shit, like, I'm actually probably the insecure one. And we see that even more so with when he goes online to friend book or whatever it's called, and you know, it's his birthday, he doesn't remember, and the only person who messaged him is his mom, and his mom's, you know, message is about him growing up, right, and finding a real stable job and all this stuff. And you know, Reigen goes to this bar basically seeking validation from people to cover up his insecurity as well. And he knows it at this point. You know, he's like, oh, this is just a place for weak people. And, you know, it kind of makes him realize that he actually doesn't have any friends. And so that's probably where it comes from a lot, is that he's a little lost. He doesn't have the self-confidence, probably because he feels very lonely. And he doesn't really realize how important mob actually is to him. But, you know, from that point on, he realizes he needs to make a change. And you see he starts to do a lot more things for himself, you know, like helping out other people a lot more, you know, being a little bit more, I guess, genuine. And it, you know, see, it goes a long way from it off the bat. Now, obviously, there's, you know, the ending scene is not looking good for Reigen, like he might get exposed. But in general, it seems like more of his work is coming from a more morally sound place, since kind of having that illusion or his ego broken down from this fight with mob, you know, it ends up resulting in some positive actions from Reigen. And a lot of times in life, that's what needs to happen. You know, a lot of people will live with a really big ego, or, you know, something around themselves, or something that protects themselves from what they know, what weakness they know is underneath, right? Instead of acknowledging it and then moving forward, they kind of build up those walls to defend themselves from ever confronting that pain. But Reigen, we see here, is kind of forced to confront it, and eventually accepts it and then moves on from it. You know, he gets over the situation by accepting it and then moving forward. All right, let's get into character ratings this episode. For MVP, I'm gonna give it to Mob. I'm just proud of Mob for actually setting a boundary clearly. It's awesome to see his growth as a character, him actually starting to build some independence and individuality away from his psychic powers, away from Reigen and people who are using him. It's nice to see that he's actually developing good friendships. For best moment, I really liked the scene with Reigen at the bar. I thought the imagery of the people and all of them kind of being sad and weak people, but like them all appearing really happy and go lucky, but really they're just looking for validation. I thought that was really interesting, and the way they animated it especially, I thought would fit the feel of the scene really well. And for funniest moment, you know, not the funniest episode, there's definitely more of a serious tone to this one, but I like the scene where Mob actually does go to karaoke and he's just banging like the little I forgot what the instrument's called, like the little like jingles or whatever. Sorry guys, I'm not a musician. But the girl's like, Mob, you have absolutely no rhythm, do you? He's like, correct. All right, y'all, I think that'll do for this episode. Let me know what y'all thought about this one in the comments down below, especially like Reigen's character. You know, let me know if you guys have similar perspectives or if you guys view this completely differently. I'm definitely a little torn on this still, and even a little confused about his character, so I would be very curious about what y'all think about Reigen's character at this point in the series. Super interesting. Do all that YouTube shit for me, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. But either way, I hope y'all have a really good rest of your day and a really good week, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.